Hello everyone. Hope everyone are doing great. So today I'm here in order to create a video. So I just wanted to give an idea about uh, SQL lab installation. So in order to do SQL injection attack, it's one of the best labs available in market openly, freely available is SQL lab. So today I thought of creating a video for my students so that it will be easy for them to understand the installation process. So I'll quickly show you guys installation process. It's simple. So we can either install this SQL lab in Kali Linux or you can install in Metasploitable machine. Okay, Metasploitable is a Linux server command line interface. You can either install it in Kali Linux or you can either install it in a Linux server. So I would prefer installing it in Metasploitable machine. Why? Because the problem is if at all you guys install it in Kali Linux, SQL lab, if you install it in Kali Linux. So every time you want to use SQL lab, basically you have to start Apache service and you need to start MySQL service. Okay, so instead if you install it in Metasploitable Linux server, okay, one time go. So once you install it there, so Metasploitable is a Linux server where whenever you start that machine, so every time you start Metasploitable 2 machine, it will automatically start Apache service and MySQL service automatically. You don't have to separately do anything. So it's better for you to maintain it in Metasploitable machine. Again, it's up to you guys. Either you can install it in Kali Linux or you can do it in Metasploitable. But I would recommend it in Metasploitable. So quickly, I'll show you guys. It's a simple process. So I'll not take much time in this scenario. So I'm just sharing my screen. And first of all, guys, we'll get into Kali Linux. So you might be wondering if we want to install Metasploitable if you want to install SQL lab in Metasploitable machine, why do we need Kali Linux? I'll tell you why. Before getting into the installation process, to give you a clarity, so SQL lab consists of 75 lessons. There are 4 pages. Okay, once you set up SQL lab, there are 75 lessons in it. So if at all you guys practice SQL lab properly, all these 75 lessons, if you practice, okay, if you bypass the 75 lessons, you will become professional in SQL injection. So SQL injection is one of the most commonly found vulnerabilities in market. So quickly, I'll show you guys the installation process. So why we need Kali Linux? Because when it comes to Metasploitable machine, if you guys see here, so this is our Metasploitable machine. There is no graphics in it. So the problem is, even this SQL lab, okay, it is available in GitHub for free. But you can't use git clone command and download. In Metasploitable, it won't work. Or even you cannot use wget command to download from internet certain files. So the problem is, even if you use normally wget command, you can use to download any file in Linux. From terminal, if you want to download any file, you can use wget command. Or git clone, you guys already know. You can clone repositories from GitHub. But the problem is, from internet using wget command, normally Linux machines from terminal you can download, but in Metasploitable it won't work. It's an old, it's a Unix machine. So what we'll do is, in Kali Linux, we will download Metasploitable machine, or we'll download SQL lab and we'll host it locally. In Kali Linux, we'll download and we'll host the file. If you know hosting, basically in our Linux or Unix or any other machine, there is a web root directory. So I'll quickly log in and show. So let's say in our Kali Linux, once we log in, we have something called web root directory. Web root directory means if you start your Apache server, whatever files are there in your web root directory, that is var www.html. So I'll just first I'll get into root sudo su and I'll get inside our file path var www.html, guys. So this is the file path where you'll be, this is called web root directory. So if I do ls, currently you guys are able to see some apk files, exe files and all in my case. Okay, but in your case, first time if at all you get into this directory, you'll find index.html pages. 2 index pages you'll get. Okay, so remove those 2 index pages. You know how to remove, right? You can just say rm in star. Star means in star means any file which starts with in will get deleted. So if there are 10 files in this directory which starts with in, so basically all those 10 files will get deleted. So what you guys have to do is first remove the index pages. In my case, I don't have any. Okay. So it's I have already removed. In your case, you have to remove it. Okay. Why? Because if index pages are there, usually in a web root directory, if index pages are there, they'll be given more priority. If you are a web developer, you'll have some idea about it. So index pages are given more priority and that page will get loaded. So you can just remove those default index pages which are there in this directory. So anyways, after doing it, you need to download SQLI lab from GitHub. So you can open browser in your Kali Linux and search for SQLI lab. SQLI lab. GitHub. Second. Okay. So once we search for SQLI lab GitHub, you guys can see here our GitHub repository, OD1. Okay, SQLI lab. So you can open this first link. Okay. And you guys can see, I'll also, if you want, in YouTube description, I'll update these also. You can see here, basically, you'll have 75 lessons in it. Okay. So what you guys first do is download this SQLI lab. Okay. So better to download it in zip format. Better to download it in zip format. Okay, I'll tell you why. Why? Because our main goal is what? First of all, this SQLI lab, we need to download it. Okay, in our Kali Linux. And we need to host this file. Okay, host this file so that from Metasploitable we can download, as Kali Linux and Metasploitable, they are in same network. So connected to same network. It's in my VM itself. Both are in, either you can keep both Kali Linux and Metasploitable in NAT, network adapter settings. I hope you know. So Kali Linux, if you see, so Kali Linux, second. So if I right click and say settings, so basically you guys can see my Kali Linux is in bridge. Bridge means it's connected to physical network. So if my Kali Linux is in bridge, Metasploitable also, I'll go to, I have to right click on it, guys. Okay, and go to settings. And this also I have to, it should be in bridge only. Remember. So if Kali Linux is in bridge, Metasploitable also should be in bridge. If Kali Linux is in NAT, if the network adapter of Kali Linux is it in NAT, so in Metasploitable also you have to go to settings and change it to NAT. So in my case, both are in bridge. That is fine. So connected to physical network. So here my goal is once both these systems are in same network adapter settings, by default it will be in same. Some cases for few people, Kali Linux might be in NAT, Metasploitable might be in bridge, or Kali Linux might be in bridge, Metasploitable may be in NAT. So in that case, you need to make changes and keep both in same either in bridge or NAT. So either way, now the thing is, if both are in same network, you can host a file from one system and download it from other system. That is the main intention. So here, if I download separate folders, then it's very difficult for me to download individual folders from Kali Linux to Metasploitable. So what I'll do is, I will download a zip file. Okay, so I'll download a zip file. So I'm downloading a zip file. So now that the zip file is downloaded, it's there in my downloads folder. You can see SQLI apps master.zip. Okay, it's there in my downloads folder. So first of all, I'll just remove other files. So okay. So I removed all my files, guys, in this directory. Previously, I had all these files, right? So I removed everything. Now, if I tell ls, there is nothing in this folder. Okay, so wantedly I removed everything. So if you see right now in my downloads folder, there is this zip file, SQLI apps master.zip. So first of all, I'll right click. The shortcut is normally you can open terminal. Okay, in terminal, you can go to the downloads folder separately, cd space downloads. Okay, so into downloads folder, you have to separately go. Otherwise, if you want, you can open downloads folder and you can right click and say open terminal here. So automatically the terminal will open in downloads folder directly. So if I do ls, you guys are able to see that we have SQLI labs master.zip. So one thing I would recommend you guys to do is every time you have to type everything, you might miss one or two. Okay, so better to rename it. Better to rename it. So I'll just say, move SQLI labs. So this is the file name, guys, SQLI labs master.zip. So I am renaming it as SQLI.zip. This is move command. Okay. So I'm just renaming it. Now if I do ls, you can see the file name is SQLI.zip. It will be easy for us to navigate. Okay, now to download that by giving the file name and all, it will be easy. Better to keep it like this. Okay, SQLI.zip. Now that you have kept, now that this is done, so the next step is you need to send this file to webroot directly. How? So you can say move SQLI lab. So SQLI.zip to this file path, guys, where www.html. To this file path, you can send this file. So you got permission denied because you are now a normal user, not a root user. So if you want to send any file to this file path, you need to be a root. You need root privileges. So let's say temporarily I'll get into root. And now I'll say move SQLI.zip to where www.html file path. So I have moved it, guys. Now if I'll get into this file path, and if I do ls, you guys are able to see SQLI.zip. So simply what I have done, so in my Kali Linux, I have downloaded this repository in a zip format. So it will be in downloads folder. So I have renamed it and moved it to our web root directory. Okay. So now I will start my Apache service. So what happens if I start my Apache service? Whatever files and folders are there in this file path, they will get hosted. Locally, it will get hosted. So I'll just say service Apache to start. Click enter. So my Apache service is started. So now that my Apache service is started, this zip file is hosted locally. So I'll check my IP address, ifconfig, my Kali Linux IP address I'll type. And you guys are able to see this is my IP. So this file is hosted right from our system. So what will happen is the file location will be like this. If anyone in my network, if at all they type my Kali Linux IP, as my Kali Linux has hosted, as my Kali Linux, okay, has hosted a file. So anyone in my network, if they type my Kali Linux IP, they'll be able to access my SQLI.zip file. Okay. So if you see what is the link location, copy link address, basically it will be simple. This is the location, guys. http:// our Kali Linux IP. Okay, mine is this, yours will be different. So my Kali Linux IP, in your case, your Kali Linux IP / SQLI.zip. Okay, so this is the path. So now the thing is, this file is hosted, so it will have a URL. So SQLI.zip is hosted, so it will have a URL. So what we need to do, my Kali Linux IP is 192.168.0.55, right? Okay, so I'll go to my Metasploitable machine. So I'll go to my Metasploitable machine and let me just zoom it a little bit. So here Metasploitable machine, guys, this is where if I click on it, you'll not be able to see any cursor. Okay, you'll not be able to see any cursor of mine because I have entered inside Metasploitable where there is no graphics in it. So username and password is already given above. You can see login with MSF admin, username, and password also MSF admin. So when you're typing password, you might not see anything. So it will be invisible, but you can just type and click enter. So you can see we have gotten logged in. So once we get logged in, you guys can check in here. So you can check in here. I have logged in inside MSF admin, our Metasploitable server. So now our goal is in Kali Linux, we have hosted that SQLI.zip file, right? So here we need to download it. Okay. So first of all, I'll enter inside root sudo su msf admin. I have entered inside root. And then I'll get inside a folder, cd space var www. Okay. So this is the file path, guys, in this Linux machine. This is our web root directory. If I say ls, you guys can see. Okay. You guys can see here. This is the file path. In Kali Linux, it was the /html was also there. But this is in here only till var. Okay, there is no HTML folder. So var/www is the file path web root directory in this Metasploitable machine. And you can see here, basically I need to download SQLI.zip file in this folder. Okay, how to download it? In your case, you'll not be able to see SQLI.zip or SQLI folder. In my case, you are seeing it because I have already done it. So what you guys have to do is, you have to just say wget. And if you remember the file path which I have shown, the URL, http://192.168.0.55 is my Kali Linux IP address. And the file name is SQLI.zip. Okay, this is the file name. So wget is a command through which I can download a file from the network. Okay, so I just gave wget and I'm giving the URL. And now if I click enter, okay, so you can see it is saved. Saved as name, you can see SQLI.zip.1. Why .1? .1 because already I have a file with the same name, so it has given .1 to it. Okay, in your case, it will be SQLI.zip. So once you see this, okay, once you download SQLI.zip file, now what you need to do is, you see, now that you have downloaded SQLI.zip, simply say unzip. Unzip SQLI.zip. Excuse me. So just unzip SQLI.zip. So and click enter. Okay, the command is just unzip SQLI. It's done. You can see. Okay, it is extracted. If I do ls, you guys can see there is a name called SQLI Labs Master. Again, so the problem is it's a big name. So make sure that you simplify it. You know how to simplify, right? Change the name. So MV SQLI Labs Masters to rename it as SQLI. In my case, I'll keep SQLI 1 because already SQLI folder is there. Okay. So in my case, already SQLI folder is there. So you can see SQLI Labs Master. Once you unzip SQLI.zip, so you'll get this extracted folder. So rename it, say MB, give the file name and rename it. So in my case, right now, already I have SQLI folder. So I'm renaming it as SQLI 1. Click enter. Okay, done. If I do ls, you guys can see here SQLI 1. Okay, renamed it. So why? Because it will be easy for us to type it in browser. To access this lab, we need to type this URL. How? First of all, this Metasploitable IP address I'll check. I'll show you now. In setup is done. Your SQLI lab, basically SQLI zip file is there in our web root directory of Metasploitable machine. So our job is done. Okay. So I'll check the IP address of my Metasploitable machine. And you guys can see it is 192.168.0.199. 0.199. So what I'll do now, so I can go to Kali Linux and type the IP address of Metasploitable. So 192.168.0.199 is my Metasploitable 2 machine IP. So I am typing the IP. So you guys are able to see Metasploitable 2 machine Okay, it's a Linux server. Basically, already it is hosting certain websites. You can see DBW and all these websites, it's already hosting. But either way, now I want to access SQLI, right? So I'll say slash, what is the folder name which we have renamed the file as? SQLI. Okay. So if I click enter, you can see SQLI. In my case, I have again I have renamed, I have created another file called SQLI.1, SQLI1. So you can see, I just have to give Metasploitable machine IP slash our folder name. Our folder name is SQLI or SQLI1 in my case. So in your case, you can keep it as SQLI and just type the Metasploitable machine IP and give the file name SQLI. So you'll be able to access your SQLI labs. And you can see here, every time you open the lab, guys, make sure that you set up or reset the database. Okay, just reset the database every time. So you can see page 2, page 3, page 4, you have total 4th page. If you see, there are total 75 lessons. So you can open any of this lesson. You can click on any of this lesson. You will be able to find an objective. These are all labs. If at all you clear all of this, so you'll become a professional in SQL injection. Very amazing lab this is. So make sure that you guys install and start practicing SQL injection accordingly. Okay. So I hope till here it's clear about installation of SQLI lab in your Metasploitable machine. Okay. So if you have any queries, definitely you can use either the comment section or you guys, if you are there in our WhatsApp group, you can text. Okay. So thank you all. So this will be it for today. So I'll come up with another video soon. Okay, I'll be posting it on our YouTube channel. Okay. So thank you all. Have a nice day, everyone. See you all.